All right, Daily Rant episode 2. Here we go. Finally, after a lot of time wasting on post deliveries and all the other crap, we are finally set up to do this. So, for anybody that doesn't know, I do quite a lot on social media in regards to the pitfalls and the waves in which people ruin their relationships and their business. So I've done a podcast in the past with a bloke from Melbourne called Jack. It was fantastic and got the itch for it. And from that point on, it's like, let's get this. So let's do it. Right. It is a little bit daunting with the camera right here in my face. The audio probably isn't great, so hang in there. Right, let's go. Why podcasts? So it's pretty simple. The reason why I want to do this and the reason why it means as much as it does is because, especially as a tradie, I know that there's a lot more that I can offer the world than just what I do for work. I listen to a lot of really, really, really good podcasting people. I don't know if people are familiar with these people. Let's go. We've got Steve Bartlett. We've got Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom. Anyway, a lot of really big heavy hitters that I think they've found the ability to be able to control and dictate how your mind works with a lot of different situations that we face daily. So that's from the AI world, from relationships, from young men's mental health, from you name it, they cover it. And just by listening to these, it has really influenced the way in which I see my life and see my relationships with my kids, see my relationships with my wife, and also the people in which that I work with. So because of those reasons, this is why we're sitting here doing this right now. So before we get too carried away with this, I will just say there is probably some bad words that are going to be said. There is a little bit of cussing. So if you've got kids, probably not great, but shit happens. What's the biggest pitfall in a relationship? And I think for most people, it's the moment you give up. And you don't even have to know that you've done it. You do it in the back of your mind and you just give up. Now, for the lazy fat slobs sitting on the couch doing fuck all with their life, eating chips, drinking beer and watching the footy on the weekends and then wondering why their relationship's falling apart, this is exactly why your relationship's falling apart. You have forgotten the ability to actually give a fuck, actually contribute, and actually put in a solid effort to your relationship. Now, if you did this on a work site, you would be fired. Unfortunately, your wife is committed to wanting the best in you. Now, what does that mean? It means she's going to put up with your lazy ass. Should she? No. Why would she? Because women are stubborn like that. They see the best in people. That's why they're great mums. That's why they put up with us. And that's why they educate and try and drive us forward. Now, having said that, I can say this because my mum played both parts of my life for a very long chunk of my life. She played both mum and dad, and she's a fucking strong woman. Bless her, she's finally got a chance to retire. And if this makes it all the way across the pond to where you are, hopefully you're proud of this. But, man, it is crazy to think just how easy it is for men to give up. Now, if you gave up on everything that you ever tried for, and you got to the pearly gates right at the end, someone said, what would you do different? What would be the first thing that came to your mind? What would be the, fuck, yeah, you're right. Or, yeah, you're probably right, I probably could have. Those moments you should be thinking about every single day, hands down. Instead, it's a lot like, we all know that sound. Crickets. Because men just don't think enough these days. They think, but what they're doing is just actively retard maxing. Let's go with that. That's the nicest way I can put it. Probably the nicest, cleanest, crisp way that I can put it. They are just retard maxing. They're just hanging on white knuckling, thinking, well, we're married, so what's she going to do? I'll tell you what she's going to do. She's going to give up like you did, because women aren't in it for a one-sided relationship. Women don't want a one-sided relationship. They want total connection, total commitment. And that's why they have fucking kids. They don't have kids to be fucking ignored. They have kids because they want the next generation to grow into a strong, independent woman like them that doesn't need no fucking man to say, yes, you can, or no, you can't do that. What they need is a man that says, if that's your goal, how do we get there? What are we going to do different that you haven't already done? What do we try now that we haven't tried before? It's very fucking simple. You only quit when you stop trying. You don't quit and give up because it's the fucking hard option. That's why people quit. That's why they give up. It's hard. Oh, fuck. It's too hard for this shit. Anything in life is going to be fucking hard. The world is going to beat you down every second it can. And that's why people hate the wealthy. They hate the successful because they failed 50 times, but they made it once. You quit once and never try it again. Pretty simple, isn't it? When you think about it, you quit once. You failed once. And that was enough for you. That was too hard for you. Successful people quit never. They fail plenty and they just keep getting up and trying again. Tweak the wheel, tweak the wheel. Eventually this motherfucker's going to roll straight. Keep tweaking that wheel. Don't like your job? Cool. What can you do different? Need to earn money? So does everybody. It's pretty straightforward. Everybody has to earn money. Everybody needs to do something with their life that creates wealth and income into their house. But do you have to be miserable to do it? No, you have to be driven to a point where it doesn't matter the amount of money. Everybody can make money. I hate this fucking saying. There's not enough money in the world. There's fucking heaps of money. There's just too many lazy people that don't want to go after it. Now, I started working at 12 on $3.95 an hour. And truth be told, the only thing I wanted was hats, shoes, and watches. That was it. Hats, shoes, and watches. That's the whole reason I did it. Crazy. Now I can buy hats, shoes, and watches whenever I want, and I don't. Strange, right? We want something until we get it. And that's where most people stop. Because they're not driven enough to go, okay, well, I've got that. What's next? It's like a relationship. Get to a certain point, you go, oh, I've made so many memories. I don't need to make any more. Bullshit, motherfucker. There's always memories that need to be made. There are always moments, because at the end of the day, once you get to that point that you can't do it anymore, that's when you'll want it the most. That's when the world is going to come back around full circle and say, well, I guess you missed the mark there, huh? Well, you're too busy white knuckling, missing the signs, and having a broken relationship with your wife, your kids, your family. I guess you missed the mark because you quit. Also, what I want to point out, so many people say they failed at shit. You didn't fail at anything. No one's ever failed at anything in not getting it the first time. You fail the second you tell yourself you're not good enough to get it. You don't deserve it. You can't do it. I hear this shit all the time on site. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. So you're lazy. You're not driven. It's not that you're not worthy of it. In your head, up here, you're not worthy of it. But it doesn't mean you can't get it. Doesn't mean you're not worth it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't go after it. Doesn't mean you can't achieve what Elon Musk has done or some of the big heavy hitters that are worth fucking millions. You think they just started rich? No. They started with a goal, right? Unfortunately, most of these people don't have successful relationships because their business is their relationship. But if you stop and think about everything that you face every day, the most consistent thing in your life will always be the same thing. And it should always be the same thing. And that's the people you come home to at night, the family that you come home to at night, and the bed that you crawl into with the person that you chose to spend your life with. That is your non-negotiable. Now, if you're unlucky like me that works away from time to time, it's not always the bed you're crawling into at night, but truth be told, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, and I know everyone says you should never look at your phone, but you try working away, right? The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, before I do anything else, is I text my wife. The very last thing I do at night, don't worry about social media scrolling, nothing. The very last thing I do at night is text my wife. It's a non-negotiable. If I'm home and I get the chance to work from home, my non-negotiable is making my wife a coffee. Now, if the day is cruising up and the kids are still in bed, that is a coffee in bed. Now, that is something that is a non-negotiable because it sets up your day in the right way. Everybody's starting their day in the worst way possible. Scrolling through social media, scrolling, flicking Instagram, TikTok. I'm more than guilty of this, flicking through emails, flicking through text messages, you name it, work orders. That's business life, and it is absolutely terrible for your health. But if you can set your day up for success every night, not day. The day starts before the sun comes up. How you go to bed is how you're going to tackle the next day. If you go to bed drunk, let me tell you, pretty obvious you're going to wake up hungover, yeah? That's no different from life. You go to bed in a certain way, unresolved issues, fighting with the missus, arguing with the kids, unhappy about something, let me tell you, you're waking up, dragging that shit into your next day. That's going to affect how you tackle absolutely everything during the day. There's absolutely no doubt that you're going to have a shitty morning until you break your shitty mindset. Now, if podcasts have taught me absolutely anything, it is your mindset is everything to you. How you assess a situation is everything. How you tackle a problem is everything. How you do everything is how you do everything. So if you're lazy about how you do anything, you're lazy about how you do everything. Now, I have 4 daughters. Do you think it is easy teaching 4 daughters how to do everything? Everything? Yeah, it's extremely challenging. I am blessed to have 4 daughters and cursed to have 4 daughters all at the same time, because trying to teach 4 young women the value of you don't need a man to give you your dreams. You don't need a man's bank account to fulfill your dreams and to line your pocket. Everything you need is in you. Now, I came from no money. My family did it fucking hard. My grandparents made my clothes, and my mates gave me the brand labels off their worn out clothes so I could stitch them to my shit because I had no money. That's how poor. But my mum worked 6 days a week to put a roof over my head, and my dad was a deadbeat piece of shit that did nothing. So I learned very quickly that money isn't something to waste. Yeah, I definitely spend money on shit that I probably don't need now, and I absolutely spoil my kids, but I don't want my kids to think that money is just there for them to burn. It's how we use everything we have. It's incredibly important. It's how the kids see us. It's how the rest of the world see us. It's how we see us. Now, I've always said to my kids, I would much rather you say to me, Mum, Dad, please stop kissing. It's gross. Oh, please stop cuddling. Ugh, you're giving me the ick. Rather than, Mum, why aren't you talking to Dad? Why is Dad out in the yard? Why is Dad pissed off? Why is Mum mad? Why is Mum driving away in a pissed off mood? Why isn't Dad talking to anyone? Why is stuff being thrown around the house? I don't want my kids growing thinking that that is a normal behavior and that is acceptable in any relationship they ever get into. How we're seen by everyone is how we should see ourselves. If you can see yourself in a negative mindset and a different opinion to what you want to have of yourself, chances are that's how everyone else is seeing you. Especially kids, man. Kids don't miss a fucking beat. They hear everything. They see everything. Even the shit you don't want them to see. Even the shit you think they haven't heard. Man, they're like sponges. They hear everything. What lessons are we teaching? What goals are we creating? I had this conversation with my wife just the other day about how the way she loves and treats our kids is so different to mine. And it's not saying that I don't love my kids. I fucking adore my kids. I just I find it a lot different in the way that I show affection. Now, it's probably a lot different when my young lad is 3 and will quite often play fight and wrestle and roll around on the floor and all of these things. Yeah, it's a dad thing with boys. You just like, pick on mom and it's all harmless banter. But I think the reason why I am so different with my daughters is because of how I was raised. I was raised in a way that I was very self-sufficient from a young age because my mum had to work very hard to put a roof over our head. It wasn't an option about, do you want to get dinner ready? It was an option of, if dinner's not ready, I'll kick your ass because you're letting the family down. If the washing isn't done, everyone's going to school with dirty clothes and dirty work wear and all the rest of it because no one's coming to save you and do it for you. And this is no different from the way that I raise my kids now. No one's coming to bail you out later in life. There's going to be parts of your life where you have to dig deep. You don't want to do it, but you have to do it. It's a necessity. And then you start to create a pattern of non-negotiables. And the moment you develop a pattern of non-negotiables, this is how I start my day. This is the routine that I run through. Now, for anyone that has routine and structure in their life, you'll understand this. It's fucking amazing. It's a gift. Once you have a routine in place that just flows, it is perfect. Now, I am still yet to perfect this in my own home, but certainly as a business point, I am fucking good at scheduling and running to a rhythm and a systems and process that creates wealth, opportunities, and a happy, healthy work environment. If I can introduce that into my house, I'd be fucking laughing. But what I have noticed is I don't need to. And that's not out of laziness. That's because my wife is that damn fucking talented at this shit. She makes shit look fucking easy, man. Like shit that most blokes wouldn't even fucking imagine trying to tackle. Now, I'm not saying my wife is a unicorn because I'm sure there's most women out there that run a household. And let's be honest, men, women run the household. You may think you run it. You may think you wear the pants, but that woman runs your household. You aren't asking yourself what to do for dinner. You're not wondering about what time the kids are going to be at dance and sports and friends' sleepovers and whose friend is this and what's that kid's name again? Blokes, we aren't programmed this way. It's just not in us. And the amount of times my kids go, I've got to sleep over with this kid. I don't know who the fuck that kid is. It's not because it's disrespectful that I don't know them. It's in all truth be told, it's that I don't fucking care. If you're happy, I don't care if his name's Fred, Bob, fucking, you name it, I couldn't care less. What I care about is when you're happy, right? But women know this shit. Women know the kids' names, the fucking parents' names, where they live, shit, right down to what sort of car they have. And when you see them at the shops, oh, that's such and such. Blokes, we don't operate like that, do we? No. But what we do is 9 times out of 10 neglect the fact that shit is so important. It's so important to our women and our children. And I came on here to try and make a difference and try and prove a point that not all sides of the coins are the same. All right. It's very, very interesting how so many people are tarnished with the exact same brush. Oh, you're from the north. Oh, you're from a cheaper fucking side of town. I don't give a shit what side of town you're from, what side of the bed you rolled out of, whether you rolled off of a cardboard box on the fucking floor. I could care less. What I care about is people that have hit rock bottom or are starting to slide, that have the nuts in their pants to say, right, I've made some poor choices. It's time to start making the right choices. And I don't give a fuck how hard that is, but that's what I'm here to do. So we'll leave it at that for episode 1 and we'll jump into it next time.